Welcome back, guys. So I found another very interesting video. This is under Mythical Kitchen. It's cooking 100 years of pizza. Now, as someone myself, I actually grew up in Italy, specifically Naples, Italy. So I'm always very harsh in critiquing when it comes to the making of pizza. I believe there's certain ways you need to cook it, and certain things that should not be on it, like I don't know, pineapple, for example. um, but yeah, so I think it's going to be very interesting to watch this for myself. I'll give some critiques here and there, or some of my knowledge from growing up in Italy. Maybe like yes, that is, or no, that's not. The tagline, the like the cover photo of it was pretty nice. I liked it. So yeah, let's get into this. Let's see what's going on here.
Decide what the best pizza in history is. Welcome to Pizza History 101. Now, pizza throughout the years has taken many different forms, and I've enlisted the help of two Kitcheneers, plus myself, to plow through the annals of pizza history to decide which one throughout the years is truly the best in history. We are going to fully...
Okay, right off the bat, the one on the right, his uniform is very bothersome. That's more of Italian American rather than Italian. Italians don't really wear the hat. You're hard pressed to find an Italian actually wearing something like that. And typically their suits aren't black, they're more of like a light brown color. Or light gray. Businessmen over in Italy. But I mean, Although that is kind of comparing it then to now, but just kind of giving it, that's more like 1900s mobster in America kind of deal. The woman on the right's more accurate.
immerse you in the historical world of that pizza with one...
And I'm just going to completely ignore Janet Tatum over here.
Good cookery and two excellent character work. You think we got what it takes to show them? What do you think?
He said annals of history. I like that.
Let's get cooking. Hey, Blaze Ratliff, Ratliff Enterprises, entrepreneur.
Not Janet Tatum. What's that dude's name that he's always in the social media and shit? Bald head. You know what I'm talking about. He always wears that same suit.
Consultant, dang glad to meet you. How much time do I have? Time? How much time? Great, we don't have a lot of time. Let's get into it. I'm about to tell you about the greatest pizza ever invented. 1985, Los Angeles, California, city of dreams. Did my dreams come true?
No, more like Naples, Italy, 1600 something.
True, yes, and more. The greatest pizza ever invented. California Pizza Kitchen, barbecue chicken pizza. Next slide. It all starts with this guy. This guy, Wolfgang
What the hell is barbecue chicken pizza?
Puck. We used to say Wolfgang, this guy Pucks. You get the joke? You guys like jokes? You watch comedy? I can get you tickets. I can get you anything you need.
Is he all right? Is he okay?
You good? You straight? You need anything?
Been hitting them.
Wolfgang Puck worked at a restaurant called Ma Maison in 1978. Big celebrity clientele. I also had a big celebrity clientele. Did a little business with the guy mostly out of the bathroom, sometimes in the alley behind it. But Ma Maison was not Wolfgang Puck's dream restaurant. No. His dream restaurant was to open a Marseille-style pizzeria. And that is where he met this guy, Ed Ledoux.
Okay, the crust looks fine. You got basil on it. Is that red onion? Why? Buffalo mozzarella, I'm enjoying that. I swear to God, if you say he's from Sicily, I'm gonna shit a brick.
We used to look at Ed Ledoux. We used to go, this guy Pucks. It didn't make sense because that was Wolfgang's name. It was the 80s. Things were moving very, very fast back then. So Ed Ledoux, he was an experimental pizza maker up in the Bay Area. He was putting pate. He was putting asparagus. He was putting clams on.
It's probably why he was in America. You don't get experimental with pizza.
Pizza making pies like the world had never seen before. Just like me, I was doing business like the world had never seen before. You know what I invented?
What?
The Care Bear. Don't fact check it. Next slide. Enter 1982, Spago. I was actually in the background
I thought it said spooge. Moving on.
of that photo while I was technically behind the building. I was doing a little bit of business in the back alley. Everything was legal. You're wearing a wire, you got a lot of layers on. You wearing a wire, you got a lot of layers on. Check me. Check me. I swear I'm... Alright.
I'm catching every other wood, man.
Spago opens in 1982.
Jesus.
Wolfgang's idea was to put a giant pizza oven in the center of the restaurant, along with the suggestion of his partner Barbara Lazaroff. They wanted it to be a giant show. The star of that show was Ed Ledoux making the fancy pizzas. He made a Peking duck pizza that all the celebrity clientele, they loved it.
What was the duck peeking at?
Huh? Duck's peeking at you. Why are you peeking at me? Are you peeking at me? No, don't peek at you. Peek at yourself. The Peking Duck Pizza was one of Spago's highlight menu items. Larry Flax, Rick Rosenfield. Now, they wanted to start their own pizzeria. They saw Ed LeDoux as the real talent of that restaurant. I'd say they also saw me as the real talent of that restaurant. But they were the ones that funded the first California Pizza Kitchen opened in Beverly Hills with Ed LeDoux at the helm. Now, they thought people they love. Hi, sweetie.
Are there still orange groves in California?
No. No more orange groves. The oranges are mostly used to traffic other oranges.
What do you mean?
They knew
So
that
that
the
way of
fancy
talking.
pizzas with fancy ingredients were a big selling point. However, they knew that they had to make them much cheaper. So the Peking duck pizza, the smoked salmon pizza with the caviar, that was no longer on the menu. They had things like barbecue chicken pizza, but the original California Pizza Kitchen menu also had crazy things like rabbit sausage. You ever eat rabbit sausage?
You ask a lot of questions.
What?
The barbecue chicken pizza is the most important pizza in the history of the world because it opened up Pandora's box. The entire culinary canon was open to now being put on a pizza. The toothpaste is out of the tube and it is not going back in. Onward and upward, on to the future. 1992, Jesus Christ, that's bright. 1992, rough year for me. Technically, my business did have a sting operation from a 3-lettered anagram agency. I'm not going to tell you which one. 1992, California Pizza Kitchen explodes. 26 locations. Next slide. Now you can find California Pizza Kitchen over 200 locations internationally. Who the heck is this guy? He looks like a fine young entrepreneur. I'd like to take him onto my team. You can find them in the frozen aisle of every major grocery
that a
store.
him?
That is how big of an innovation California Pizza Kitchen was. Meanwhile, my business, not doing great. Can I have a job?
I'm a woman.
That's a fair point. Jesus Christ, it's bright in here. Wait, I stared right into the light. It actually is so bright here. I can't see anything with the sunglasses on. I haven't been able to see anything the whole time. California Pizza Kitchen barbecue chicken pizza. Truly, I think it's the best.
We've
pizza
got that
of all
same,
time. I'm
mixer.
gonna show you how to make it. First up, because Jacket's gonna get so wrecked by the end of this. We're gonna make the dough here.
Yeah.
Typical Neapolitan pizza dough only would have salt, flour.
Yeah, not very smart to wear a white suit with long sleeves while cooking.
Maybe olive oil and yeast in it, but
It's not maybe olive oil, it is olive oil. Every Italian pizza has olive oil in it. You have to ask without if you don't want it. It will always come in there. You get the dough, you cook it. While you're cooking it though, you throw in your tomato paste, your cheese, put it with olive oil, slap on some basil, then cook it in a stove oven for like 2 minutes. And it'll come out nice and crispy. Although it's not crispy at first, though. Believe it or not, pizza in Italy is not 100% crispy. When you bite into it, it doesn't have a crunch. Because of the way it cooks and with the olive oil, besides the outside, the interior typically remains quite soft. Yeah. I think it's just how it cooks, not only in the wood oven beside an actual fire, but I mean, they don't even leave it on like a metal pan or anything. They literally just shove it on the like inside the actual oven, just on the brick itself. So you actually end up with a lot of like char deposits up underneath the pizza.
California style pizza, they started introducing things like honey, and then that gave way to other California pizza makers like
God.
Nancy Silverton of Mozza, who did a lot for the pizza world. So like, I think this is kind of the progenitor of really changing the entire game of pizza. I'm going to take some yeast, boom, bloom that in water. I grew up eating at California Pizza Kitchen all the time. It was truly my favorite place to go. The excitement of being able to get like peanut sauce with chicken and beans wrapped on a pizza was just one of the greatest things of all time.
Why?
Chicken pizza, y'all ever the tostada pizza with the refried beans?
What?
Dude, man, early 2000s CPK, there was nothing like it. I wish I could go back. If I could go back to one time in history, I would go to 1985 with the original California Pizza Kitchen. Wouldn't kill Hitler. No, straight to 1985. Anyway, so we're gonna make the barbecue sauce. We have added water. We have added vinegar. I'm gonna add a little touch of liquid smoke because this is an artificially smoky barbecue sauce. That is part of what makes it delicious. You can just huff that. Brown sugar, mustard. Someone do it. Mustard?
On the beat, ho.
No, you gotta yell mustard! Okay. We're gonna add some cayenne in there. We're adding garlic powder. We're so in sync. Cumin. Boom. I'm gonna go ahead and whisk this up. We're just gonna wait for all that sugar to melt down.
I've always wondered how that spice is supposed to be pronounced. Is it cumin, cumin? How's it pronounced?
I think a lot of food innovation, hear me out, comes from people realizing the fact that Americans really like sugar. I think that's a real thing. Zoom in, come here. I think it's a real thing. You know about the Korean taco movement? It's the first time people had ever had meat marinated in sugar inside of a taco. And we're like, wow, that's incredible. What a lovely time.
No, Americans just like excessive. Period. Do anything, do everything, put in anything, put in everything. If it's edible, Americans will eat it, and they want more of it.
I'm gonna drop some honey into my wets. Perfect. The honey actually helps the yeast bloom in this situation. It helps the yeast eat all the sugars. And then I'm just gonna mix all the wets together. I'm gonna drop this right into the dough. Stir it real quick. I like to form my dough outside of the bowl of the stand mixer. That way I can just add it directly to the stand mixer and then let that run. So now we have like a rough dough formed. Go in there. Give it a nice little tossy toss. Barbecue sauce all the
Why? That's so disgusting. No, don't. Oh my god. This dude's supposed to be a chef, too. Oh god, this pains me.
edge. Boy, do I
Why am I doing this to myself?
hate cooking in long sleeves, man. Okay, that's kind of got it rough.
That is
Now
awful.
we're going to go smoked Gouda, selling the barbecue sauce theme. We got smoky
Gouda.
cheese on there and mozzarella. I'm actually gonna put the Gouda on the bottom because Gouda doesn't melt and brown as well as mozzarella, which is the joy.
Which is why Italians only cook with mozzarella. Mozzarella di bufala. Okay? That's the reason why. Because it's the best cooking for pizza. And there's two different kinds of buffalo mozzarella, by the way. There's a sandwich kind and a pizza kind. The pizza kind isn't as wet. Keep that in mind.
Of the duality of cheeses on here. Fantastic. Gonna
The
go
duality.
on with the mozz. Mozzarella's
The
down. Now
mozz.
we are simply going to throw these onions on.
Oh, God, man. I was eyeing the onion the whole time thinking, oh, God, why?
Get those all around the pizza. You get like one crunch of onion every.
Why would you want to crunch an onion? Why? There's not supposed to be anything crunchy with the pizza except for maybe like the crispiness of the outside of the, the outside of the pizza, the crust, Nothing else is supposed to crunch. Period. There's no crunch. No crunch.
3 bites. That's what you want. And now
It's not a pizza anymore at this point. Like, even close. It's just, it would be like calling naan bread a tortilla. You can't. It looks like a tortilla, but it's naan bread. It's not the same thing. This is not a pizza. This is a platter on dough.
are nominal amounts of chicken just for protein. I don't even think that
What is that on the right? It does not look like basil.
this pizza really needed the chicken, but it had the chicken. There you have it. We're gonna top this.
That's not basil. That's cilantro. It looks like cilantro. If it's not cilantro, I'd be shocked.
The cilantro after it comes out.
I was right. You don't put cilantro on pizza. What are you doing? You're supposed to be a chef. You call yourself a chef. Oh my god, this is nasty. And he's got grilled chicken too. Oh my god. So he's basically making the exact same pizza he just described. Barbecue sauce, 2 different kinds of cheeses, onion, grilled chicken, cilantro. Nothing about this is pizza. Period. Too many ingredients, too many kinds of cheeses, wrong kinds of cheeses, except for the mozzarella, but whatever, wrong kind of garnish. And you don't put meat on pizza either. There is a quote-unquote pizza-esque thing in Italy. I forget what the name of it's called because I didn't like it, but it's got a white sauce on it with corn, ham, and french fries. But it's, guess what? Not called a pizza.
Out of the oven. This is sliding. This is feeling good. Here we have the California Pizza Kitchen barbecue chicken pizza, greatest pizza of all time.
No.
Hello, I'm a nameless, faceless woman of the 40s. Welcome to my presentation. We're going to be talking about St. Louis style pizza. And you can't start this story without mentioning Amado Fiore. Yes, that's right. He came to America
I don't know what part of Italy this dude's from, but he does not look Italian. I'm sorry, he doesn't. I look at that dude and I think he's from some other, like, maybe Germany or something. I don't know. He does not look Italian, by the way.
by way of Naples, First, he settled in Chicago, and
He is not from Naples. Oh, piss off. He is no. No. He's not from Naples. I'm sorry. He's not. He might have been born somewhere else and then moved to Naples and then moved to the U.S., but he's not Neapolitan born. He's not. I promise.
style pizza. And you can't start this story without mentioning Amado Fiore. Yes, that's right. He came to America by way of Naples. First, he settled in Chicago, and then he moved to St. Louis with his lovely wife, Elizabeth. Isn't she an absolute stunner? Yes, that's right. He came to America by way of Naples. First, he settled in Chicago, and then he moved to St. Louis with his lovely wife, Elizabeth. Isn't she?
No. He's definitely not originally from Naples. He might have moved there at some point, but he was not born in Naples. I promise you that. If I had to guess, I probably think he's more around like the Pisa area. He gotta be north of Rome. Gotta be. But he does not look like he's from Naples. Sorry, bro.
She an absolute stunner.
I'd hit.
Oh my god.
Hit.
All right.
You did?
No, I never hit a woman.
I believe he's complimenting her. Our lovely Amado was a singer, a tenor to be exact. He was also a car salesman,
course.
a handyman, and he worked for an electric company. But after a while, he scrounged enough money to own a lovely business with a basement and restaurant space in 1945
Good for
in
him.
Melrose Apartments in St. Louis. Look at those beautiful tablecloths. They had chairs.
What a revolutionary
For
thing.
them to be.
The
Yeah.
original name was the Melrose Cafe. They changed it to the original Neapolitan Pizzeria, decided that was a mouthful, changed it back to the Melrose Pizzeria. During this time, there was a large crime syndicate going on around there, but I won't talk about that too much. In order to make a really good St. Louis style pizza,
What?
there's three things you need. You need an unleavened crust and an incredibly sweet sauce with lots of oregano. And then we have Provel cheese, a cheese that's made as a combination of cheddar, Swiss, and provolone, known for its gooey texture and a very, very sharp taste.
How much for the arch?
I'm sorry?
The arch, St. Louis Arch, how much?
Well, I don't know. I'm not allowed to handle money.
Where you gonna
Again, nameless and faceless woman from the 40s.
Keep it in St. Louis. That's what. That's what,
right?
That's what. No, I want the arch.
Next slide. One of the most well-known pizzerias to sell St. Louis style pizza is Emo's Pizzeria. Opened by Ed Emo and Margie Emo in the 60s. They have over 100 locations, mostly in the St. Louis area. They also have locations in Kansas and Illinois. As you can see, this pizza's not cut in triangles.
And once again, he's not from Naples. You can tell just by that pizza. Why does it look it's molding? Oh, it's an awful shot, but Jesus Christ.
They're cut in squares. Aren't they nice? Look at the squares.
What's
Blasphemous.
inside the arch? Have you looked inside the arch?
Is he talking to me? My chaperone isn't present, sir.
You're really obsessed with this arch.
I love the arch. I want the arch.
The reason why they're cut into little squares like this, also known as tavern cut or party cut, is because Ed Emo was known to be a tile layer. So he inspired the cut.
I mean, I guess no offense to the guy that created the pizza, but it looks like one of those those really tiny frozen pizzas that come in the individual in the plastic bag container thing. It's like a solid frozen disc. It's got no liner up underneath. It's just sealed in a plastic bag. It's all red on over it. I forget what it's called, but they're like $2 a pop. Oh, let me. Yeah, I'm not even gonna. No.
Do you have any questions, gentlemen?
I hate this. I
All
have
right.
things going on.
All right.
Likewise.
Because you're a woman.
No.
Thank
It's
you.
about the pizza.
Thank you. Some people say
First time I've agreed with anyone on this episode.
that St. Louis style pizza isn't really pizza, but the people that say that are B-list YouTubers.
Wow. Okay.
Talk about me. Talk about me. Blaine Ratliff.
Hello. I've decided to name myself. It's Edith.
Edith.
Did everybody like the transatlantic accent? Is everybody into it? So we're gonna start with our lovely dough. Now, I did say it was
I will give it props for that. It is closer to pizza than whatever that abomination was that dude cooked. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Yeah. Period.
unleavened originally, but I'm not so sure if that's true. It's more of an unyeasted dough.
Mm.
But there is a little bit of baking powder in there, which is going to give us a slight lift, but it's nothing substantial the way that a classic Neapolitan pizza dough or Pizza Hut pizza dough or Domino's pizza dough is. So we got some warm water, some AP flour, some olive
Man, did she really just mention Domino's and Pizza Hut after mentioning Naples, Italy? Blasphemous.
oil, spilled
It's
all
spilling
over
everywhere.
this machine,
Good God.
baking powder,
Mm-hmm.
salt, and then a little bit of brown rice syrup. Now
Really?
this imparts a nice sweetness.
Hmm.
Add a little bit there. Then let it rip, yeah?
I mean, when it comes to the actual making of the dough itself, I mean, I give anybody leniency from it, you know, just maybe create like a unique flavoring or unique texture. That's fine, but my big thing is what you put on the pizza itself after you cook the dough, right?
So I'm just gonna let that go for a little bit. And then we're gonna get started on the sauce. Now this sauce over here, it is an uncooked, very, very sweet tomato sauce. So we're gonna start with crushed tomatoes,
Okay.
some tomato paste.
Okay. I like it.
Add it all in there.
Yeah, I like it. I like it
much
so far.
sugar, so much sugar. Lots of oregano
Sure.
and a hefty pinch of salt.
Sure.
And I'm gonna go ahead and
Everything in that sauce I'm okay with except for all the sugar. The sugar is it's gonna make it way too sweet. But she did mention that earlier. Of they made a paste that was extremely sweet, but you know, uncrushed, uncooked tomatoes, tomato sauce, and adding some paste. The oregano is great. Yeah, everything else, I'm like some salt to give it some, you know, some pizzazz. You know, really bring out the flavor. I'm with everything else. Seriously. There,
immerse
those lips. I'm sorry, I can't get it off of the lips. God, what was I saying? I don't even remember anymore. But yeah, everything so far, I'm fine with. Really, the sugar's the only thing that I'm like, But yeah, so far so good.
immersion blend that. Now, did they have immersion blenders back in the 40s? I wouldn't know.
No, the answer is no.
All right, we are ready to assemble our gorgeous St. Louis style pizza.
Okay.
Now, for all the haters who happen to be my motivators, they say this pizza isn't real pizza.
Why?
Well, I say innovation is where it all starts, honey.
It's. I said it before. I said it again. It's more of a pizza than whatever that thing that was cooked prior in the video. At least it's got tomato sauce on it. I mean, come on.
So I'm literally gonna roll this out until it is as thin as cracker dough. We're trying to make a cracker. Oh, and fun fact, we have some really awesome cheese in the house. We literally
That's a great circle.
got imported Emo's roped Provel cheese. It looks like a... Here, I'll do it for you, Taylor. It looks like a brain.
It almost looks like that packing material.
That's a really good selling point, if you ask me. Make
It looks like a
as
brain.
round as my little freaking hands and brain can make it. No, I can do it. I'm smart and I'm capable. A
Please
nice
don't cut it.
smattering of pizza sauce.
Oh my god!
And hey, if you see this pizza magically a lot rounder, oops. I'm gonna break apart this brain cheese. Let me taste a little bit of it. Yeah, wow. You definitely, wow, the provolone flavor is so incredibly strong. And then I'm gonna
Strange
thumb
cheese.
some sausage, some raw sausage on there. And I don't know, I feel like
Okay, number one. Okay, I've got a lot of problems with this. All right. Number one, once again, you don't put meat on a pizza. Fun fact: pepperoni is not Italian; it's actually American. The closest thing to pepperoni that exists in Italy is called pepperoncini, which is in northern Italy, not where I'm from, but or grew up in northern Italy, around like Milano, kind of in that rough general location. It's like a really spicy salami, but there's no such thing as pepperoni, and it's definitely not put on a pizza. So no meat on a pizza, and an actual pizza. And especially putting raw sausage on it. I mean, with the amount that you would typically cook a pizza and how long it would be cooked, especially in a wood oven or a brick oven, sorry, a brick oven, it would not be there long enough for it to fully cook. I wouldn't touch that. No.
Like a little bit of sausage on this pizza will really cinch the win for me, you know? So we're gonna put that in an oven. It's gonna get
'kay.
nice and toasty and gorgeous and delicious. We're gonna cut it into some freaking squares or rectangles. I
Sure.
still don't know. But by the time you're back, it's gonna be a gorgeous thing to behold.
1905.
Name's Vincenzo Penne alla Vodka. Nice to meet you.
I love vodka. There's so many things wrong with that. Moving on.
My father, Benny Penne alla Vodka. My mother, Polly Penne alla Vodka.
He's mumbling everything. This dude must be from Naples. He's mumbling everything.
You might not have heard of them, but if you've heard of pizza, you've heard of Lombardi's Pizza. Now, Lombardi, right here on the right, that handsome fella.
I would love to know where this accent originated from, seriously. Because, like, every region of Italy has their own dialect and their own accent, believe it or not. There's not just one accent in every location of Italy. It's very diverse. You literally go from one region to the next, and it's, like, vastly different with the dialect, certain words they use, the accent, all that stuff. In fact, in Italy, in Naples, we're considered more of, like, Hicks, almost. We've got a very strong dialect. A lot of words that like people outside of Naples just don't understand if you use it. But this accent in particular, I'd love to know where this comes from.
Now, the story goes, Lombardi opened a really famous pizza joint, and I don't want to get into the fact that it was actually my father and the Penne alla Vodka family that put him there, but we'll talk a little bit about that later.
So he's saying penne alla vodka. There's a couple issues with that. First of all, it would be penne della, which means of the, and not alla. For that sort of sentence structure. Two, I shouldn't have to state this, but vodka is not Italian; it's Russian. So. Maybe penne dell'olio or penne dell'olio. Which I don't know. Maybe just kind of throwing it out there. But hey, let's content, right?
Lombardi came to the U.S. and he said, you know
Lombardi.
what, that Neapolitan bastard, he said, I'm going to make a pizza joint. Now, Gennaro Lombardi. Some people say that before him, there was a guy named Filippo Maloni. They didn't care about the Italians coming over. They were writing their names down wrong, couldn't get a legitimate business going.
Sounds about right.
People say that's why Filippo Maloni didn't get the credit he deserves. But Gennaro, he came in and he said, I'm going to do it right. So Lombardi goes, he takes over this pizza joint, that's what they say, and he starts making Neapolitan-style pizza. And he's pouring.
That is gorgeous. That. Yes. 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 Thank you. Finally, that is beautiful. The chunks of mozzarella are a little larger than what they're technically supposed to be, but still, I mean, fucking applauding him. Yeah. That's great. I would fucking eat that every day, all day long, man. The only two critiques I would have is make the bits of mozzarella smaller so that we can cover up a little bit more of the pizza. Just a little bit more, not a ton more. Just more like spread it out. Same amount of cheese, just cut it smaller, spread it out more. And we don't typically like shred the basil. You keep it in full chunks and just spread it out. Yeah, full leaves. But I mean, hey, you know, that is the best I've seen in 15 minutes of this video so far.
Italians all
Please don't make it bad.
over. You know, they can't run a legitimate business.
Mm-hmm.
My father, however, you know, he created the biggest legitimate pizza business in New York, pizza business. And the thing about Neapolitan-style pizza is, you know, it's got a fluffy crust, all right?
Mm-hmm.
It's got a nice little chew, but not too much chew. It's not
Yes.
too tough.
See, once again, the crispy thing is not really Neapolitan. The crispy thing, it's got a little bit of a chew to it, like I mentioned earlier.
It's airy, it's light.
Mm-hmm.
There's big slices of mozzarella, that cooked down sauce.
Not that
sauce.
big, but yes.
But you know, over time, New York hustle and bustle. You got things going on. You want to take a slice on the go. See, in Neapolitan style,
Yep.
style of pizza, you sit down. You have a glass of red wine. You have
Yes and no. There are restaurants in Naples. One specifically, a chain called Chow Pizza. You can actually get individual slices. You just go in. It's literally just like a hole in the wall, sort of. You just go in there. You go up to the counter, say, "Hey, I want a slice of that." It's €1.20. Give it to them. You grab the slice. You walk out. You eat it. Right.
a cigar. You know, New York is on the move. I'm on the move. I'm on the move all
And those are some big ass slices too.
the time.
How much for the statue of the Green Lady?
The Green Lady? Yeah. Was the Green Lady around in 1905? New York pizza evolved, but
Was she?
Gennaro, he
I don't even
started
know.
it all. He made New York pizza. He got the institution. I mean, talking about
Ooh.
guys coming here to train with
Hell
us. He's
yeah.
training pizza makers. He's the best pizza chef out there. And my father built the biggest pizza empire New York City's ever seen.
Why are you pausing so long before you say pizza?
My father's pizza empire?
Yeah, there's a long pause there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
You want to talk to my father?
Okay, yeah, it looks like they added some mini pepperonis on it. It's fine. I mean, out of all the things to add to a pizza, pepperoni, I'm fine with. It's not super intrusive. It gives us some spiciness. I'm fine with pepperonis.
I don't want to talk about it.
You want to talk to my mother?
I don't want to. Certainly
And kind of going back to it,
What are you talking about?
I don't want to.
what are you talking about? The cheese is covering a little bit more. See, in Naples, the cheese doesn't cover the entire pizza. There is quite a bit here and there of the sauce that comes through that you just see. So that's definitely more true to life. That is a beautiful looking pizza, by the way, though. Yeah, I would eat that 100%.
You want to talk to my father?
I don't want to talk about it.
You want to talk to my mother?
I don't want to. Certainly don't
You don't want to talk to my mother.
talk to your mother.
You don't want to talk to Paul. When she gets going, she gets going. You don't want to talk to Mama Paul. Now, here's the thing. I forgot what was on this slide, what I was going to say. This is just the pizza. Now, Lombardi's still operates in Little Italy today. And you know what still
Ooh.
operates? Is my father's pizza empire.
There it is again.
To this day. I don't know what he's talking about with the pauses.
Good affectation.
I don't get it. Does anybody else know what he's talking
I
about?
feel like he's implying
Just
something.
talking. You hear what? You hear the pause?
Oh,
You're
yes.
both crazy. You're a woman. Why are you talking to me?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Jesus Christ! I'm sorry, I just clipped the hell out of the audio. Wow. Okay. Jesus.
Why are you talking to me?
That's
You're
exactly
crazy.
right. No, you don't need to do that. You think that for me. Watch out for any people with 3 letters on vests coming into your father's pizza business.
3 letters on the vest.
3 letters
You
on
need to get a little
vests.
further away
You're
from the
gonna get
mic
a letter
right
on the
now.
vest?
Nope.
Where the letter's gonna go?
It's not good. It's not good for you. It's gonna be bad for your
Look at away.
pizza business.
Oh
Lombardi's a
my
great
god.
man. My father was a great man. My mother was a great woman. All right, and I'm gonna be a great man. Vincenzo Penny alla Vodka. You look out for me, okay?
Penny alla
I'm gonna
vodka.
be in your history books. Vincenzo
Vincenzo.
Penny alla Vodka. It's me.
Vincenzo Penne alla vodka. Sure, why not? Vincenzo.
Vincenzo Penny alla Vodka.
Penne alla vodka. There's so many things wrong with that, man. You can't just say words that end with an A and think it sounds Italian. It's like, you can't. Oh, it's the. You gotta love Trevor, though, man.
And I came into this room today prepared to do this character the whole time, so that's
This is gonna be the only pizza I think I'm gonna truly be like, that's fine, I like that, that's great. Because it kept traditional to Naples.
what I'm gonna do. You're getting a full, whatever. How long's the runtime on this show? 25 minutes of Vincenzo Penny alla Vodka.
Look, we're making a pizza, and I'm gonna do it like our Saint Lombardi would have wanted. Neapolitan style. Now, if
Yes.
you notice, here's my dough ingredients. I'm gonna get this going
Pizza napoletana. Ma che buona. Mwah.
in the mixer. There's the flour. Gonna get this yeast blooming. And the thing about a Neapolitan, there's no sugar and there's no oil in the dough. It's
Yes. Yes. You put, no sugar. Period. The oil gets put on after.
4 ingredients, and that's all you need. It's gonna be that light, airy crust. This is 00 flour pizza flour. It's gonna encourage less
And I say this is true pizza because pizza actually originated in Naples specifically.
gluten development. You don't want a lot of gluten. You know what my pa
Yep.
said about having a lot of gluten? And I'm
He
gonna give
doesn't
some more
elaborate.
about it going in this pot. Now,
Saw that coming. Okay, that's fine.
I told you the story of Lombardi, and now you're gonna hear the facts. Okay, my father, Benny Allavatca, came over here. He had one
Benny.
extra shirt, and about $2 American to his name.
Yep.
And he said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna build the biggest pizza empire that New York City's ever seen. Now, my father came over here and ran into a man, Tony Sopressetta. Tony Sopressetta, big.
I don't know what the seta is supposed to mean, but sopra means like above.
Pizza business in New York. One of the prominent pizza business.
One of the prominent pizza. This is hilarious. But what made him say that? What made him do that, man? Seriously.
One of the prominent pizza business owners in New York. And you know what he said to him? He said, Tony, he said, I want to take this over with
Tony.
you. I think together we can build the biggest pizza empire that New York has ever seen. Well, my father, you know, he's a rat bastard, that guy. You know what he did while he's talking to Tony Sopressetta? He goes over to his buddy, Donatello Mortadella. You know what he says to Donnie?
Mortadella.
What he says to Donnie is he says, hey, I'm talking to Tony. I'm gaining his trust. He said, we're going to build this pizza empire together. But you know what he did? He went to Donnie Mortadella, and he said, Donnie, you and me, we can take Sopressetta down. Now, Donnie, obviously, is a sandwich guy. Sandwich pizza, two different worlds. But they worked together.
Yeah.
It was mutually beneficial. So my daddy stuck it to that bastard, Tony Sopressetta. Well, you know, this is sort of the pizza making process. It's not very glamorous. But, you know, behind the scenes, some dark, dirty stuff going on in the pizza world. Yeah, all right. These onions, this garlic's looking good. I'm gonna give it a little seasoning. I'm gonna give it a little salt. Come on.
Yeah, sure.
Can't be too generous with the salt. Gonna get a little bit of thyme going in there. Little red
Little
pepper
thyme.
flake. This is how you do it Neapolitan style. Little oregano
Little
and
oregano.
some sugar. You're gonna get that sweetness, all right? I'm gonna get all
He just said there's going to be no sugar in it. Oh, no, he's making it for the sauce. I'm sorry. Sure, yeah. I mean, sweeten it up a little bit. That's fine. I'm only okay with that because there was so little sugar in that for such a big pot. Versus how the woman made it from, what was it, Louisiana or Illinois, wherever it was, doesn't matter. Where she just dumped like a fat sack of sugar in it. My God.
that mixed around in there with the garlic and onions. Look at that. You know what? I'm just gonna go for the pour. Oh, yeah.
Okay, too much garlic, too much onion. Way too much onion. You don't put a full thing of onion in it, if any at all. And garlic, very, very, very little. Just enough to flavor it. Not to turn the flavor into it, by the way. Once again, another thing. If you're eating bread and it tastes pure like garlic, that's American, not Italian. All right. Italians, we don't use that much garlic. Very little garlic in everything.
You know, it's gonna splash a little bit.
Garlic knots, don't even get me started on garlic knots. That's American. We'll leave it at that and move on. Moving on.
But the pizza business can get kind of dirty. Now, here's the thing about a Neapolitan sauce. It's gonna get cooked down for a long, long time. So I'm gonna get that going in there, heating up, and that's gonna simmer forever.
Yes, I agree with that because it's more of a tomato paste rather than a sauce in Naples. So much so that you're gonna find a lot of seeds in the actual paste. And it's more of a drier, it's a much thicker sauce. It's not super wet. It's quite thick. Because it's just like a dry thick, not because there's a bunch of shit in it.
All right, this yeast is blown. I'm gonna put the water in there. Gonna get this going. Knead it up. You know what though? I mean, this is what Lombardi was doing day in, day out. Oh, sorry, these newfangled machines. My father always said, he said, life, it's a lot like a pizza. You know, you're born, you start
Okay, another thing to add to it, in Naples, the mozzarella is not going to be in circles. It's actually going to be in chunks, like square, rectangular chunks that are just kind of spread. They're haphazardly pulled apart, right? It's like you take a round. It's not going to be in a cylinder shape like that. It's actually going to be in a round ball, and it's going to be like plucked. You know, just chunks kind of torn off of it.
Cut out, you kind of just a little ball, little pale ball.
Not a ball.
Then you get some red stuff on you. You come out, little red stuff. You go in the oven at some point and you come out and you're beautiful and tasty. Think that was a metaphor for puberty or something. I don't know. Not all of it made sense.
What that looks like is somebody got really lazy and didn't want to keep plucking apart the ball, so they just decided we're just gonna cut everything in circles. They're just like cut slices.
But you know what he did do is he created one of the largest pizza businesses of all time in New York. Largest pizza businesses of all time in New York City. I've been told by the production team that I have enough cheese. So I'm gonna stop with the cheese. I'm gonna get to the dough. Now dough, much
He's
like me when I
enjoying
was
that
a baby.
cigarette.
Did I already do the baby metaphor? I think I did. Beautiful. Oh my God. This is so light and
I want to see him do the snack like Italians do. Hold on, actually, real quick, I'm gonna see for you guys. I'm gonna see if I can find a video of how an Italian chef makes a pizza. That's a little overkill. Neapolitan pizza recipe.
So Neapolitan dough is super simple, like pancake batter, right?
Wow.
And pizza, especially if you're gonna get it for home purpose. But there's no lesson in that. If you know how to make this by hand, once you finally do go plug in your KitchenAid mixer,
You know what you're looking for.
yeah, and you're not
Bear with me, guys, real quick. I'm gonna see what I can figure out here.
I'm gonna put it on the side for a few minutes. I'm gonna let this rest again for 15
That's nice and
minutes.
fluffy.
At that, chop a little bit off. Now that I'm there, I'm gonna bring this into the center. Smooth side, bring this down. All the ugly side here in the middle. And then almost like a change purse, I'm gonna fold all of this around. We make our dough balls.
I mean, you could.
A full box like this, I would say try to do 3 rows of 5. If you've got what sometimes they call the artisan series or the home baker box, right? Which is literally half the size burnt on the pizza. It's not the pizza itself. I'm gonna take some of this flour out of here. I'm gonna get this back into a round. If I make an imaginary line, I'm gonna push like I'm playing, give it a flip. Or in here, you can see build up all the open light. Same thing. Already probably, I'm gonna lift, pull, turn.
Okay, yep, he's doing it. He's doing it. Wonderful. We're gonna watch this for a second. He's doing it very slow. He might speed up, but this is how a chef will actually make it in Italy in front of you.
Has this kind of curve. I'm gonna lift, pull, turn.
Make it look so easy.
It's just a slap. And actually, this method in Napoli is called a schiaffo. Schiaffo.
It's a slap.
Shot your grandmother
Schiaffare.
giving you when you were a kid in your
100%.
back,
Schiaffo.
right?
Yep.
Put this down.
These are the VPN tomatoes.
These are the San Marzanos.
San Marzano.
Yep, and that's how they make it in Italy, or at least in Naples. I don't know about other parts of Italy. I've only lived in Naples and visited other places, but yeah. Yep, that's how they spread out the dough in Italy. So let's see him do it.
So we're just gonna get this to a nice round circle. Oh, I forgot I was still holding this. I'm not gonna let it go though. It's like a little pacifier for me.
Because he's a baby. Oh my god.
Gonna give this a little light saucing. I don't want my sauce to be all the way on the edges.
Yep.
I don't like that. I don't like my pizza cut in squares. I'm just gonna start tossing some big, chunky slices of mozz. None of that shredded junk.
Hold on, wait. Real quick, I'm sorry to kind of cut it off again, but I want to see because I believe he also showed the cheese.
Here, I'm giving this a stir.
We're just gonna watch this for a minute. Bear with me here, guys.
Any excess salt that might not have been incorporated is now mixed in. I'm gonna give this a turn.
That's a see, lots of seeds, lots of seeds.
I want to go over the edge because the sugars that are natural have a burnt the frame of that fior di latte.
And there, right there. See, it's just pulled apart.
A little goes a long way with this stuff. I'm just
Yep.
gonna kind of lay 'em here. A couple of them I made a little bit thicker, no big deal. A couple leaves of fresh basil.
Full
If they're really big,
full leaves.
I can just cut them in a few pieces.
Yep.
Just kind of drop
Yep.
them over there.
Yep. You don't shred them.
Our project. This is called an
You don't use Oh, okay, okay.
in English. It has a little notch here on the back. This is for your thumb. And as we put this on, this is to control the
Yep.
flow of oil coming out.
Yep.
Right? So the more I keep this closed,
The less come out.
The idea is that we're going to make this number 6.
There you go.
All right?
Yep,
And this is
that
the
works.
oil. The oil is on here just to kind of keep everything flowing. In
Yes.
Right? Now, I'm going to give you a very important job.
Oh, and he's got a fucking brick oven too.
In Napoli, when you're an apprentice, the apprentice doesn't get to do much but grunt labor work.
Mhm.
Maybe hold this here. In Napoli, they would call you morto. Morto is
Dead.
dead guy.
Yep.
Why do they call you morto? Because all night long you're gonna die at the end of this peel. You're not gonna move. But why is this an important job? Because it gives you an opportunity to see every single pizza every single night
Mhm.
go on the peel and go into the oven. And it's the only way you can learn this. I'm going to take whatever flour I can fit in 2
Yep.
fingers from here to the front. I'm going to give it a dusting. And then
Yep.
just give this a little twist. 10
In
minutes.
Italy, the chefs make it like very like fancy. The flick. Beautiful. A little too clean for an actual Neapolitan oven, but
You would know if the pizza had a lot of flour because you'd see a streak along the stones. This oven is like over 900 degrees now. And you'll see within the first 30 seconds,
already rising.
the edge or the
Yep.
cornicione is going to
Yep.
start to bubble up.
Like I said, you have a fully cooked pizza in like 2 minutes.
Very large, right? And then as this is
Pick it up, flip it around, kind of, well, slide it around rather.
here, closest to the fire, right there, and you'll
Yep.
start to see these small little micro bubbles or leopard
Yep.
spots, right? As soon as it's ready, right?
Oh, it looks so
here,
fucking
leopard
good,
spots
man.
start to be created.
Makes me homesick.
I'm gonna give
Flip it around. Yeah, there. Yeah.
and I'm gonna put it
This dude knows what he's doing.
exactly. You see where the
Yeah.
red is on the floor?
Hover it a little bit.
Exactly in the spot that it was just in.
And to cook it one last little bit, they'll actually take it, flip it, turn a little bit of an angle, with the pizza, like the top of the pizza facing away from the flame, and bring the spatula just a little bit closer to it. Really get an extra little sear on it, and then pull it. I don't know if he'll do that, but
100-degree floor, some of that heat has been absorbed inside of this pizza.
Mhm.
And if I was to move it on a fresh hot spot,
Mhm.
it would instantly burn underneath.
Yep.
But looking under here, it's
Oh,
perfect.
gorgeous.
Got nice browning on the edge. and
Gorgeous.
one more turn. Put it back on the spot that it was just
Let it
in,
go.
and then I'm gonna get a dish. Our pizza's done. I'm gonna give this a turn, and then I'm gonna come right.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
90 seconds, huh? 90 seconds.
Yep. Yep. 2-minute pizza.
This is not supposed to be a crispy pizza.
Yep.
But outside of the oven, you can actually
It's gonna just a little bit of crisp,
get a little snap, right?
ever so little.
Something like this, we would eat.
Oh yeah, yeah. Cut it with a. This may look weird to some people, but this is legitimately how they'll usually cut it. Is with a gigantic pair of scissors.
With a knife and fork.
I love the scissors.
But I love using a pair of scissors. I love cutting.
It's a very
the
small
edge.
pizza though.
Actually, if I was by myself, I would fold it in half and shove it in my mouth. But
Mm-hmm.
since we got all these viewers here, let's cut it into 4 nice pieces. Just like that. Watch
Oh
this.
yes.
Nice, beautiful.
Cooked to
Not burnt.
perfection.
Not burnt. Mozzarella is pulling.
Oh my
Wow.
god, that's gorgeous.
Olive oil, tomato sauce.
And this is something to be enjoyed immediately.
Yes.
Sit at the table and eat this pizza.
Let's do it.
Salute. You go first.
Salute.
Take a bite. Bring your mouth, dude.
Chin chin.
That's really, really, really nice, man. It's so simple. It's got a little bit of that moisture on there, which I think people are scared of with pizza, but with this style,
It's
beautiful.
it's not
It
grease.
stays nice and
It's
crispy.
olive oil.
So, the VPN. All right, so pizza 1 done. We kind of took out all the bells and
That's gorgeous. I don't know what he makes from here, but that's all I need to see. Yeah, sorry that went to a bit of a tangent, but that is how pizza is made back home where I grew up. That is purely Italian, no pizzazz, no flair, as it is in the restaurant in front of you, right? The chefs aren't like in the back hidden; they're up front, behind a table and a glass, and they make the pizza in front of you. Mwah. Anyways, so now you kind of have sort of an idea of how it's actually supposed to be made. Here we go.
I like big circle-looking shapes. And we're gonna save the basil. We're gonna do fresh basil at the end. I tell you what, I am gonna pick a beautiful little leaf here, just to show you. Look at that. Italian grown basil. That's what they told me.
Don't say Italian. Oh, it's not Italian.
Told me it's grown in Italia.
He did it again. Why must he hurt me like that? Oh, the one on the left is a very pretty pizza. It's very pretty.
Penne alla vodka? Unnamed woman from the 1940s?
It's Edith!
Edith from the 1940s. We have the 3 pizzas in front of us. I think we should
God.
start with
The one on the right is the worst by far. That isn't. You can't call that a pizza, man. The one in the middle I would eat. The one on the left is
the oldest in history.
The oldest and the best.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
So
Yeah. Yes. Wow.
I mean, that's so freaking good.
Yep.
This is why we.
What?
Do you need something for that nose?
A little Parmesan cheese, if you know what I mean, huh?
Don't ever have your elbow touch my upper arm ever again.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's making me hungry.
That's
Shit.
what happens when you own the most successful pizza business in New York City.
Don't like that pause.
I love the
I
pause.
love
I
the
think
pause.
It's sweet. Speaking of sweet, time for St. Louis style pizza.
Now,
St.
why the hell
Louis,
is it cut
okay.
in squares?
Well, if you were listening to my lovely presentation, I
wasn't.
told you that Ed Emo was once a tire layer.
He was in the tile business. Now, do you understand?
This is an affront to mankind.
I don't understand it, but
It's
I'm
more
gonna
of a
give it
pizza
shake.
than what he
Saint
made.
Lombardi is rolling in his grave.
What's the problem?
Why does St. Louis pizza? Forgive me, I'm sorry. The entire state of Missouri is lost for me with the Eagles beating the Chiefs, and now me on St. Louis pizza. This just doesn't feel like a meal in a way. This feels like a party appetizer. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the
Probably
point.
too sweet.
I guess so.
You eat it with your friends.
Going from this to that, it's pretty jarring.
I love Provel cheese is really great. I want to use Provel cheese for other things because it has that like processed kind of nature to it. Like I want to melt that on a sandwich. On the pizza, I like the way it browns, but there's no like pull and chew to Provel. You know what I mean?
But there is goo.
There's no pull, no chew, all goo. Provel cheese. Welcome to St. Louis. What's inside the arch? Nobody knows. Now we're winning pizza. Mr. Penella Vodka, this is gonna blow your freaking mind right here. Grab a slice.
It means a lot to me to eat this pizza.
Where's the red? Where's the tomatoes?
It's so brown. Well, there's a whole tube of tomato paste in there.
I feel like I'm transcending into like a new dimension that I haven't been to since I was like 11. You know what I mean?
You ever want to throw up from pure joy?
Why
What'd
does
you
it-
say that sauce was again?
Barbecue.
Barbecue.
Newfangled idea coming out of Texas.
Texas.
Did this come out of your mouth? Or did it come out of mine?
We will be ranking the pizzas on the scale of both historicity and taste. And you cannot vote for your own.
Why is there only 2 spots?
What do you mean?
What do you mean there's only 2 spots?
You don't rank your own.
What?
You don't
Then how
rank
do
your
you-
own.
Did I do this right?
Then how do you know?
Oh, that's how you spell Penella Vodka.
For the history ranking, out of 5.
Who's the best storyteller? No.
Okay. No, I get it.
This card's all cracked. Can I eat this? I don't like it. All right, the scores have been tabulated. Let's check.
All right, so the video is already pretty long. I think I'm gonna cut it there. Yeah, hey, if you've watched to this part of the video, thank you so much. I might end up just kind of cutting it up because we're looking at about an hour actually for this video. I did not plan on it being that long. The thing's only like half an hour. Yeah, it's already half. So I digress. But yeah, so I'm gonna cut it there. They're just kind of doing some closing up video stuff. But yeah, link to the original video is in the description. I'll also link the other video I was watching in there as well. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you don't mind. Help me out a ton. If you have any questions, be sure to post them down in a comment down below the video. I'll do my best to answer them to the best of my ability. And yeah, peace.